see you too actually teaching. That would be beautiful. That would be
Now,
beautiful.
by the way, I wanted to go back to something you said earlier, Mike, because I mentioned the thing about the age. I think that you said you had a short career at this and then happened to drop in the thing 20 years. I mean, in what
Yes.
world is 20 years a short career? Like you've been doing this a long time. You have a lot of don't be dismissive of your experience. Like, yeah,
No,
I've had a very
not at
short
all.
career,
Not at
20
all. No, I don't
years.
want to sound too old. That's why. I don't want to sound too old. Imagine he's just 20 years. So how old is this guy? Oh, Jesus. No, no.
Maybe you started when you were 14.
Yeah.
Sounds good. That's a good one. No, actually, yeah, just 20 years right now. It's been beautiful. It's
Just
beautiful. Just 20 years.
Yeah.
I want to get more. I mean, I will be happy if I can actually get 40. I will be really happy. I've actually learned a lot through different teachers, just like you two actually right now, hearing you guys talking about this. Tisha, you were pretty much like you were you were really actually doing a little bit of what Dave was doing. So Dave was your inspiration. I also had that. I also had one teacher who was like that to me, and I learned a lot
Mhm.
from him, and I'm really happy with it. So I just hear you too, and I'm like, I'm so happy. So yeah, so 20 years, I think still I'm still young. I still need to learn a lot more. And I'm learning even right now. And I love what I
don't we
do.
all? Don't we all need to learn more, right?
So
Mhm.
I think there's
100%.
so much more to learn.
Yeah.
And I think I know just 1% maybe. It feels too little, 20 years. It
Yeah.
Mhm.
feels, yeah, in terms of knowledge maybe, or I want to learn, or maybe I'm too exaggerated with myself, like, oh no, 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 I need to learn more, more, more,
Mhm.
more. That's why.
I think
But yeah,
that's a red flag, right? When you see an educator who doesn't think there's anything more left that they need to learn, that's a red flag. That's like, oh, okay.
Mhm.
That's
yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's
that's a
also
It's
problem.
true.
always more ways to learn and grow. That is
Yeah,
absolutely, that's what keeps things fresh and exciting. As an educator, never once have I taught the same semester exactly the same. I'm
yeah,
always trying new things and, oh, there's a new, let's try this new recipe. Or sometimes it's kind of a beautiful thing that I have a first period prep, because sometimes I'll come in and I'm getting ready for my day and all of a sudden I have this explosion of this inspiration that just kind of just appears, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I this is what I was going to do, but I think if I just changed this one thing up, that this could even be, better.
mhm,
And I do that all the time, and I think it's really important as educators that we are continually trying new things and just kind of continuing to hone our craft and to learn
yeah,
from other educators and people, and outside. Dave talked about this too, is learning from people outside of education, right? I
also,
mean,
yeah,
there's so much that we can bring in outside of our field that can impact our teaching in a positive way.
definitely. Yeah. What do you say, Dave?
So well, I don't know why I was just thinking when she was saying the thing about trying new recipes, but I follow Tisha on social media, and everyone should follow Tisha on social media. And often she shows pictures of what her students have made in class. And I'm thinking, okay, it's not just one period, but like and that class leaves and another class comes in and makes that thing, and another class comes in, another class. I'm thinking, how much weight would I gain if I was a culinary arts teacher? Because some of this stuff looks delicious. And like they're probably like in order you have to like taste some of them. Like, oh my gosh, like on Snickerdoodle Day, I would probably gain 15
Yeah.
pounds.
There are
Yeah.
certain days where I have a really hard time not eating a lot, but well, and with my class too, it's not just the same thing over and over again. I teach three different preps, three different levels. And so in one given day, there might be three completely different lab experiences, recipes happening in my classroom. So it's never a dull moment.
So,
That is
so what
for
you're
sure.
saying, you should have like one of the early classes do appetizers And then like the middle classes do like a main course
The
and
main
then have
course,
like
yeah.
their last period of the day do like dessert. We're going to do desserts today. And then you could just kind
Yeah,
of like go through your whole
exactly.
thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny though, if you spend too long like on either sweet or savory, the kids are like, when are we gonna do something sweet? And if you spend, when are we gonna do something savory? So you have to keep changing it up. So I don't know that that would work long term, but I like the idea for me.
I don't know why I'm still hungry right now. Jesus. All right. Coming back a little bit to this other part of the classroom, because sometimes we have that's one of the main that's where the problem is in the classroom sometimes, and some of the teachers that they don't know actually how to work that with the students. So, what role does emotion play in learning? Should classroom feel more like experiences than information delivery?
I think
You
it
want to
plays
start,
a
Dave?
strong, yeah, I think it plays a strong role. And I'm
Hmm.
trying to, I don't want my class to be dry, boring, textbook driven, rote, scripted. All these things are bad to me. I don't want any of that. I want there to be, I'm trying to create an emotional response, and I want there to be an emotional response to my content and my curriculum. And that's what draws people in. It's like a storytelling, for example. Storytelling invokes emotion, creates buy-in, and gets people
Yes.
invested, gets them on the edge of their seats. And so incorporating like storytelling techniques into what we do is a critical part of I think that we should be teaching, right? And so all these things are important. And the emotion might not always be positive, right? Sometimes you want to invoke, I'm a history teacher. Not everything in history is a positive story. There's some really bad stuff that happened, and I want them to feel that too, right? I
Hmm.
don't want them to, we're not laughing and having fun when we're talking about historical, like tragic things that have happened and injustices and oppression and stuff like that. But so it's not going to be all fun and games on that day. But in the same way that I created an experience maybe the day before that was fun, now I'm creating experiences that I want them to really feel something deep inside of themselves that
Hmm.
that provokes them a little bit and makes them want to like maybe change the world, right? And so, but all these things come through emotion is very powerful.
Hmm. And when you first said that, what immediately I was thinking about was just that emotional safety that students feel in the
Mm,
classroom.
yeah.
And that for me is so, so important that I create that from day one. I have a lab-based class, and like I said, it's never a dull moment. Um, I just might have had a couple fires that happened over the course of the last, nothing serious, but that's the kind of class I have. So it's sometimes hard to stand by my door as periods are transitioning. But and there are times when I can't for one reason or another, but I it's a definite priority for me to be at that door, greeting every student by name as they walk into
Hmm.
my classroom, making that connection and making sure that those students, all students, feel safe in the space, that we are able to create that classroom family feel where students
True.
feel safe trying new things and working together in a group. Lab-based classes are very collaborative. And if you're not feeling safe in that space, it's going to be really hard to work with other students in your group and in that space. And so I think that in order to really be able to allow students to feel all the emotions of a class that they're in, it's important to create that safety first and allow students to connect with the other students in that classroom, but also with me as an educator. And I feel like um, that learning is going to go so much farther when we're able
Hmm.
to do that.
Yeah. You two say something really interesting here, something that I actually talked in one of the previous episodes with all the guests. Um, I was talking with one of the teachers in the UK. She's Rachel Valentine. She's an advocate for this safety environment and all that for the kids and all that. And I also talked to Nick Peachy with Pitchy Publications or some, yeah, Pitchy Publications. Um, and he was actually talking about this thing that you said, Dave, textbook driven. In a system where everything is in the textbook, and if you do not follow the textbook, then you are not a good teacher. How can we just make it possible? How can we just this magic make it happen if everything needs to be just exactly like the book? The book is God, we used to say
Mhm.
here.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would reject that notion that as the publisher of Matt Miller, who wrote a book called early on in our line called Ditch That Textbook. It's not, I'm not anti-textbook in that there's nothing in there that might be useful. But what I'm anti is the over-reliance on the textbook
Mhm.
and the structure of the textbook. And I think it could be a great resource for teachers and educators and maybe give some structure to your course. But there's
Mm.
so much that we can bring from outside of that textbook into the classroom that's going to be more engaging and relevant for the kids. And so um, I'm not going to burn the textbooks, but I'm gonna see them for what they are, which is a resource just like any other, like the technology. It's like tech tools. Some people are so obsessed with a particular tech tool and they think that's the be all end all of education. No, no, no. It's just another tool. And maybe it's the best
Mhm.
tool for this lesson. Like maybe the textbook is best today. Maybe what's in the textbook is wonderful, has some great, as a history teacher, maybe it has some great primary sources and some pictures of what, and different things
Mm.
that I want the kids to see. But that tool is good today, but tomorrow maybe it's not the best tool, and I want the best tool. Um, Bruce Lee. I wrote about Bruce Lee, the martial artist, famous martial
Yeah.
artist, in my book, and how he grew up in a very structured form of kung fu called Wing Chun Kung Fu, right?
Hmm.
Very, everything was very scripted, and you learned everything in a certain order and these routines and sequences, right? And then he broke away from that, creating his own martial arts style. And his own martial arts style, Jeet Kune Do, was basically this. He said that I want to take the best of everything based on one factor, one criteria. What is most effective in combat, right?
Mm.
I don't care what style it's from. I don't care if this kick is from Taekwondo and I'm a Kung Fu artist. I want it, right? I don't care if this strike is from karate and I do Kung Fu. I want, if it's the best one, that's what I want to use. If this grappling technique is the best thing to do in this situation, then I want to add
Mhm.
grappling, right? And so that's how I feel about teaching is
Yeah.
I don't care where it comes from, what style it is, what tech tool it is, or what it might be. If it's the most effective thing that I can use in my classroom this time, then that's what I'm going to embrace and that's what I'm going to take. And I'm not going to pledge allegiance to the textbook for every single thing if it's not the best thing on that particular day.
Yeah, that's another one. I was, you're the way you're speaking actually about it. It reminds me also another colleague. He was also here in the show. His name Jose Torres. He's in the East Coast. He was actually talking about that as well. He was very kind of a let's say energetic about it. He was like, nope. I'll do like this. And even if somebody, just the principal or someone just come here, no, no, no. I'm the teacher here. I'm the leader, and I want to do it this way
Mhm.
because this is the best way that my students can do, or how I can teach them, or they're gonna get it in this way. So this is the way we're gonna do. Period. Whether they like it or not,
Mhm.
this is the way they need it. These are my kids,
Yeah.
and I'm responsible for them. So that's the way
Yeah.
he also say it. Tisha, what do you think about that?
Mhm. Well, I mean, think about my class in culinary arts. Can you imagine if we learned everything from a textbook? Like we were diving into the chapter on pies and pastries, and all we were doing was reading about the pies and pastries and
Yeah.
learning the vocabulary and the methods of pies and pastries, but we weren't ever able to experience preparing a pie or pastry or be able to compare the different ingredients. How does fat affect a pie crust? What if we use margarine? What if we use shortening? What if we use butter? What if we use a combination of the two? What if we try oil? Like each of those different ingredients are going to create a different result. And so letting students be curious about that and trying that and actually getting their hands in the dough and learning what it feels like to get that enough ice water in that pie crust that you're going to be able to roll it out without it sticking to the counter, right? And all of that, we have to do it by doing to really truly
Yes.
experience how to make a pie or a pastry. And I think that that can apply to all subject areas. If we don't get students really experiencing it in the way that is authentic to that particular subject, we're losing the mark there. We're not really engaging them and really teaching them and allowing them to learn in an authentic way. And so it's very, very important that we are creating those experiences for students where they really can become immersed in the content that we're teaching.
Yeah.
So
True.
Mike, that
True.
was like she was speaking literally, but it could also be symbolically. She said like we got to let them get their hands in the dough, right? And that's kind of like,
Mhm.
I mean, that's literally in her case, but
Yeah.
like figuratively for the rest of us, like letting kids actually experience these things, get their hands in the dough. That's a great little
Mhm.
quote.
That's what I do actually with the
Yep.
kids in the kindergarten as well.
Yeah.
Literally.
Mhm.
Oh, Jesus. I don't know how to cook. I'm sorry. But I've been doing that with the kids. It's amazing. They can
Yeah.
do even
I
better
love
than me.
it.
But it's beautiful. I love it. So, well, I've been actually writing down a couple of phrases that you've been actually saying. I think it's really, really interesting. I'm gonna just put them. I'm just gonna quote them, and I'm just gonna make the quotes. And I'm gonna post them on all social media because they're really interesting, and I think everybody needs to learn. These are very deep. Now, we have this situation with the teachers. We have a little bit of the students, how to be better. But now we have something that it's totally new now, AI.
Mhm.
What do we do there? Should we use it as a tool,
Mhm.
something extra, or should we just take everything out and just keep doing it a different way? What do you suggest here?
Mhm.
Technology.
Well, yeah, go ahead, Dave.
I was just going to say, I think that we are very much in alignment on this because we've discussed this
Mhm.
together before. That I think that as from the teacher standpoint of it, AI is one of the best brainstormers in the world. It's a great
Mhm.
resource to use. I mean, you have a colleague who is willing to discuss creative ideas and brainstorm with you, who never ever gets tired of the conversation
Mhm.
because it's a and so that's a dream. Like, oh my God, I could talk to someone about creative ideas and possibilities for my classroom, and they're just at the end of it gonna like be happy to keep going. Like, this is
Yeah.
incredible. Usually I
Mhm.
wear people out with this kind of stuff, right? And so AI as a brainstormer for teachers, I think is a powerful thing. And I know that's one of the ways that Tisha uses it, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I love escape rooms. I love creating clues. I've loved gamifying my classroom in a number of different ways. And I use ChatGPT, Claude on a daily basis to just, as Dave says, brainstorm. Like, hey, I have this idea. Can you help me flesh it out? And it's never like they give me a response and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to copy that and do exactly that. Like I am, but I'm having that conversation. I'm becoming more creative and thinking of these new ideas because I have that thought partner. And I think that's really, really important. I have used AI with my students in a few different ways. I love some of the tools out there like Brisk Teaching and Magic School AI. They have some really great platforms. One of the ways that I've used um, Brisk Teaching is for
Mm.
podcasts. So you can upload a recipe, for instance, and it will create a podcast based off of that recipe. You can choose the voices And you can
Well,
choose what you want it to grab from that recipe and what you want them to talk about, or you can leave it very generic. You can choose the length of podcast you want it to create. And so, what
mm,
I've done, because I think it's really important for students to be able to visually process, I will play the podcast and it will often talk about the science behind the recipe. So let's say we're making cranberry orange scones. It's going to talk about what's happening with the ingredients, what's happening with the method. Um, and now students, as they're listening and they're processing, they're able to visually capture that in a sketch note on their paper. And then I might have them kind of pair share or group share, and then have them share out as a class. And it's really powerful. And so many times when I've done that, and it's created the podcast, I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about talking about that with them today.
wow.
Like of course, I'm going to talk about the science and the methods, but maybe they bring something up that I'm like, wow, that's a really good point that maybe I wasn't planning on talking about today, but now it's captured that. It's pretty spot on. I love being able to use it in that way. And Magic School, I've used their chatbots. You can have it create a chatbot that is an expert um, pastry chef, and you might have them dive deeper into the methodology behind maybe making a tart by having this conversation with the pastry chef. Or maybe you're learning about Southwestern cuisine and you want to or maybe Southern cuisine, and you want them to understand the difference between Cajun and Creole. You can engage them in this conversation. So it's cool. It's so cool what is possible right now. And I think it's important to kind of explore it as an educator, but also think about ways that we can introduce it to our students, because it is the world that we are living in. It's
Hmm.
definitely not going away. It's something that's going to be a part of their workplace when they leave our schools. And as a career and technical educator, it's really important that I am helping prepare students for that workforce. And they're going to encounter these things. They're going to encounter AI, and it would be a disservice to me if it wasn't something um, that I was learning about myself so that I can prepare them
Yes.
for that world that's out there.
Well, it is definitely an excellent tool actually for us as educators, right? But now for the students, might have also really good things there, but some other ones are not that good. Maybe we put them on the balance. It's quite hard actually. That's what I think at least. We still actually have to
Mm-hmm.
prepare students to use it appropriately and in the best
Mm-hmm.
way possible. But now let's
Absolutely.
challenge one of the myths that I have here. Can every classroom realistically become extraordinary, or are there real limits teachers face?
Uh,
You want to
so
you go for it, Dave?
so I think that I don't necessarily like the labeling of the. I think what every class can improve and get better, and so and that's where our focus should lie. And that actually is something that I said in the book, is that these ideas will not bring you 100% engagement from 100% of your students on 100% of the days. In fact, if that's what you define success as, what you have done is you've created a rubric for yourself that will guarantee you a lifetime and a career of disappointment. It is
Mhm.
not about reaching some level of perfection. What these ideas will
Mm-hmm.
do will make your class better. It'll make it more engaging. It'll increase and improve your learning outcomes. So it's always looking to get better and improve, but never feeling disappointed that you haven't reached some ultimate level, which doesn't even exist, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
when a lot of teachers have too much of a perfectionist streak, people that are
Yes.
drawn into education oftentimes are people that were really good at working the system and jumping through hoops and like things to be orderly and to go well, right?
Yeah.
And learning is messy, creativity is messy,
Mm-hmm.
and learning to embrace that messiness and embrace those failures and struggles and seeing that as all part of the great and magical art of teaching. It's not a it's not a bug in the system. It's a feature. It's
Yes.
important.
Hmm.
And so, the idea that I'm going to be disappointed in myself because I had a behavior management issue, no, 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 that's part of this process.
Hmm.
Yeah, but a new
Yeah.
teacher, when something goes wrong in the classroom of a new teacher, they think it's them. They think, oh, maybe I'm not cut out for
Yeah,
this profession.
that's
Maybe,
it.
maybe like, I'm not very
Hmm.
good at this. And an experienced teacher will go like, what are you talking about? Like that still happens to me. Like
Yes,
I still have problems
Hmm.
in my classroom. Like you're a first year teacher. You don't think you're gonna have problems in your classroom? Like the last year that you teach before you lock the door and walk and go off into retirement, you're gonna have problems in your classroom. That's
true.
part of this
Yeah.
profession. And you have to learn that that's not you. That's not, that's like, that's
Hmm.
part of this whole magical thing that we do called teaching.
Yeah, absolutely. I did a podcast episode and a blog post just maybe 3 weeks ago. And I had a week where I was like, dang, like I feel like I really, I was concentrating on all of the things that didn't go well, right? Like I was looking at my year and I was reflecting, I'm like, dang, like I wish I would have done this better and I wish I would have done this. And I really had to catch myself and think about I've also done a lot of things great. Like there's actually
Yeah.
a lot of things that have gone really well. And I've made a lot of great connections with kids. And there's been a lot of really powerful learning. But I think as educators, it's really easy to fall into, man, like I wish I would have done this better. I wish I would have done this like that teacher across the hall or,
Mm. Yeah.
in, the room next door. And we have a harder time just really thinking about the things that we have done well, things we've tried that we didn't do the previous year, right? Not all of that is going to have gone, as a smashing success, but we've tried new things and we've learned from those new things. And I think it's really important as educators that of course, we want to reflect on the things that don't go well because we want to refine and we want to be better, but also
True.
really giving ourselves credit for all of the things that we have done really well and all the growth that has happened. Because I have 6 periods of students, and I will tell you, every single one of those classes have a completely different dynamic happening. You have different personalities, you have different kids. What's going to work in one class is not going to work exactly the same way in another class. And um, it can be messy, and but it's also very rewarding.
Oh, definitely. That's a fact. That is a fact.
Hmm.
Really rewarding. I love it. I love what I do, and I think if I actually have to be born again, I would definitely choose to be a teacher again.
I love
It's
that.
beautiful. It's beautiful.
Hmm.
Well, we're actually just getting to an hour. Oh my goodness. Well, and I have so many things actually to talk about. Anyway, I would like to ask you to help us help the audience know how they can reach you, how they can communicate
Hmm.
with you guys, where they can listen to you, because I know you two own a podcast as well, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we
So
do.
it would be good if you share the links. I would like to actually put your links in the description of this podcast, this episode, and push your content a lot. There are more teachers that actually need to hear you more and share your experiences and all that. Please, let's start with you, Tisha. How we can actually connect with you? Where can we get your
Yeah.
books? How can we get them? What
Yes.
happens if someone in Argentina would like to have your book, but they don't have the paper one? Can they get the
Yes.
PDF or something? Let us know, please.
Yes, so you're going to be able to find all of my books on Amazon. They're also available on Barnes and Noble online as well. Type in the book title, my name, Tisha Richmond, and you're gonna find them all there. And yes, you can find the ebook on Kindle as well for the Edu Protocols. I have a website, tisharrichmond.com. I have a podcast called the Make Learning Magical podcast. You can find that on all the platforms. I also have one that I've done, collaborated with my friend and former colleague Liz Bostwick, called Spark Joy in EDU. We're on a little bit of a pause right now, but we will be bringing that back as well. And there's quite a few amazing episodes there. On socials, my handle changes slightly depending on where you are at. So on Instagram, I am Tish Richmond. On X, or formerly known as Twitter, I am Tish Rich. TikTok, I'm Tisha Richmond. You can find me on LinkedIn as Tisha Richmond. I'm on Facebook, so you can find me in all of the places.
Amazing. Everybody, please go hit the link, subscribe, like the videos, like everything what Tisha has. She deserves to be listened. Read the books. What
Thank
about you,
you. Thank
Dave?
you so much.
Yeah, Teach Like a Pirate. It's easy to find. You can find it on Amazon, all the places. If there are, I know you have listeners from different places, so it's available in two forms of Chinese, Korean, Spanish, Russian. But like
Oh,
you can find it on Amazon in English. I have a podcast, The Dave Burgess Show. And so I'd love to have you check out the Dave Burgess Show podcast. And on X, I am at Burgess Dave. My name just flipped around to Burgess Dave. And on Instagram, I am DBC underscore INC. It's like Dave Burgess Consulting, DBC underscore INC on Instagram. On TikTok, I am pirate.teacher. And you can find all the books and me and all that at daveburgess.com or daveburgessconsulting.com.
beautiful. So we're gonna have actually everybody again. I mean, not only for Tisha, but also for Dave. Please go over here, check on the links, visit the website, and check on the videos. You guys have a YouTube channel? No, not yet.
I do, but I don't have much on there. They're better
Okay.
off on the social media sites.
Okay. What about
Yeah,
you,
same. Same
Tisha?
for me.
Same. All right. You all
Same for me. Yeah.
you two are in Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, and Amazon Music, and all of them, right?
Yep.
Because
Yep.
I'm actually following you two in on Spotify.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
On
Mhm.
Fantastic. Thank
Spotify,
you.
yeah.
That's awesome.
I got
Thank
no
you.
teachers follow teachers. If I don't follow teachers, I don't learn anything. So I want to say thank you very much for being here. It was a great time talking to you. I wish I could have more time. I don't want to actually keep you here. For sure, you're very busy as well. So maybe we can have another chance to talk a little bit more.
I would
That
love
would be
that.
amazing.
Yeah, Mike, thanks so much for having us on the show. It's an honor to join you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Next time, maybe
absolutely.
I totally forgot to ask you. You two speak only English, or you have any other language there?
Only English for me.
English, Dave?
Yeah, same for me. I'm
Same.
embarrassed
Okay.
to say same for me.
No, 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 no. No, I'm not
Same.
embarrassed
I
at
wish I
all.
could.
No, no. Perfect. So, so a classroom becomes extraordinary when we have people like you. Thank you very much for all the extraordinary work that you've done. I love your books. I love what you're doing. Keep doing that. Keep being the side of the teachers. Thanks a lot for being here. Until next time, you two.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Mike.